Good day, vibrant, victorious, valiant, virtuous voices and visionaries. Hey, valuable people. And how have you been? It's been more than a minute. Oh, yes, I do know, but we're here again. So, how are you doing? I know a lot is happening around, but I just want to encourage you from this point that you should not show an attitude for gratitude. You should have a gratitude journal in this season, and in that place you'll be able to nurture the spirit of joy. You'll be able to nurture joy around you, and you know the spirit of joy is a fetcher, it's a strengthener. It would allow you to draw, to see, what next step you need to take. So one of the best things you can do for yourself in this season is to be grateful for the things that you have seen before that has given you so much joy. Posture from that point, and everything that you do, you nurture the spirit of joy, and the spirit of joy allows you to have strength that you can draw. So welcome to today's episode of our relationship gist and talk and all of the things that we do here. And so today, one of the things that has been on my mind recently is how we need to pay attention to patterns. And so today I want to speak to you on picking patterns over people's potentials. I'm going to say that again, picking patterns over people's potentials. And you want to ask me, what are patterns? What are patterns? I mean, what are red flags? What are patterns? And patterns can be defined as something that is regularly done. It is done repeatedly. You can literally see that this thing has been done before and is done again. It's like in a relationship dynamics, it's an established way of behavior and character, how they respond and behave in the context of your relationship. And now patterns can be positive or negative. And scriptures in Proverbs chapter 20 verse 11 tells us that a young man is known by his doings. So if you really want to know this person, if this person's ways are pure or perverse, you have to pay attention to the patterns that they show you. You need to look at patterns and not potentials. Potentials is just having an ability to become something. It's like you're saying you have a talent, but you've not skilled up, you've not sharpened it, you've not refined it, you've not polished it. And so it's just in its potential form. Nigeria is such a great country with so much potentials. So, but we need to be able to refine ourselves, polish ourselves, and get to the point where we are we can stand the test of time, and we can be used by God, or we can actually get into a better place or have a good relationship. And so picking patterns over potentials is something you need to pay attention to. Now, when someone shows you the way that they react to things, you need to pay attention, because patterns are the pointers, they are the painters, they are the picture, the posture of the personality that you are getting involved with. You know what? Patterns are things that show you what the person can even become. Oh yes, it shows you that, if the person doesn't really pay attention to this, the person is just going to be this person continually. And then again, you would say to yourself, but if someone has a potential, why can't I just give the person a second chance? Or why can't I just listen to this person? Now, if someone has a potential, the person has to activate the potentials even right in your presence, right where you are as a single person. I'm not saying in a full-blown state, but you want to see patterns that they are ready to work, that they are ready to change, that they are ready to become a lot better. Now, I want to give you an example of a pattern now. Someone who you are with, who always goes off when you tell the person that you are sick, the person doesn't show up at the time. Probably you're sick for 3 weeks, the person doesn't show up. It happened for the first time, it happened the second and the third time, and you're like, why is this guy doing this thing to me? And you just leave it that way. The thing about pattern is that it carries over from that single thing to something else. And so now in another situation, the guy goes broke and he tells you that, he doesn't want to speak to you for 3 weeks, doesn't speak to you for 4 weeks and all that. So he's trying to tell you that he has a pattern of not showing up, not being able to stand in the face of adversity. And that's a pattern you need to pay attention to, because scripture says in Titus chapter 2 verse 7 that we have to show ourselves a pattern of good works. We have to show that pattern of very good works. Now, someone who always you have a conversation with this person and probably doesn't go the way he wants, or you guys get to see things differently, the person just blocks you the first time, blocks you the second time. It's a pattern. Just get to know that when you are getting married to this person, the person is not going to give you the time where you have to communicate over a period of time, over an issue. The person will just stonewall, or or just not talk to you and all that. And you do not need that in a marriage. So I am here to speak to my very beautiful single people that you need to open up your mind and your eyes and your souls to the patterns that you are seeing in front of you. Pay attention. No, red flags that just happen could be just one off, but patterns are things that you really can see. And there are patterns that you should probably negotiate. Yeah, probably this person doesn't dress well, probably this person doesn't have good table manners, probably this person is dirty, probably this person is a bit lousy. I mean, or yeah, those things you can manage. But there are some patterns that are tough. The patterns of someone who doesn't show strength for spiritual matters, plays down on your emotion, doesn't have good time management, doesn't pay attention to his vision or her vision, or is not a good finisher of what they have started. You need to pay attention to those things. Pattern speaks to who this person is. So scripture already told us in Proverbs chapter 20 verse 11 that every man, a child is known by the way that they do their stuff. Now look at this pencil. This pencil has potentials to be a fantastic writing material, right? Yes, but it's still in its potential state. If it's not sharpened, if it's not refined, if it's not activated, I wouldn't be able to use it as a writing material. I'll just tell people that, oh, you know what, I got a writing material. I got a writing material. It's a potential writing material, but it has to be sharpened. It has to be sharpened for me to get to use this. It has to be sharpened. So I'm not going to say I want to get married to someone who has potentials. No, he has the ability to become something. I have to get married to someone who I already know his patterns. I know that this is who he is. This is what he's doing. These are positive patterns. These are negative patterns that I can't deal with. And you want to ask me, hello, what are the negative patterns that we should run away from? Like someone who doesn't show consistency in spiritual matters. You need to run away from those people who doesn't believe that the system of God is the powered system that should be the major thing you should pay attention to every day. I think you should, I know you should run away from that person. So you should run away from that person. I mean, people who do not have conduct when it comes to the opposite sex, because there's a way that you should conduct yourself when you're with someone. There's a way you should behave. There's a conduct and there's a language that you should have. I mean, someone who just talks anyhow when they see the opposite sex, you need to pay attention to that kind of person. And another kind of a negative potential that you want to pay attention to is someone who doesn't take responsibility. They always have blame people, blame situation, blame objects, blame parents, blame everyone except themselves about the things that they go through, that are happening to them. You need to pay attention to this. For people who have extreme anger issues, who do not forgive, you need to pay attention to those patterns. Please do pay attention to patterns. Patterns, like I said earlier, they are pointers to what this person can do, what this person can become, and how they can even, take your journey. And so you want to ask yourself, so how can I undo negative patterns? One of the ways that you can undo negative patterns is to first be aware of that pattern. I mean, sit down and just take a reflective look and just listen to yourself, the way you speak, the way you react, the way you manage your time. When you do that, it's going to help you to power from that place, to take responsibility. You're self-aware, then you begin to take responsibility. When you take responsibility, you don't need to blame anybody. Don't be overcritical on that matter. Take responsibility about it. Then you go seek help. If there's something you do, probably you don't know how to finish a task, set up accountability partners. Set up people around you that will catalyze you, that will activate you and press you and push you into what you need to do and complete. Then again, this one, I need to say it so loud. What do you think about? Now, you need to pay attention to what you think, because what you think, it's what you're going to do. So it just pours out to your patterns. And so neuroplasticity says that it's an aspect of science that says that you can rewire your mind to think a different way. So neuroplasticity is not just about thinking. You can rewire your whole neural pathways to do things differently, to become a different person. So even when scripture tells us that you can, begin to ponder on things that are good so that you can affect your responses and become a better person, science has also proven to us that yes, you can rewire your neural pathways to become a great and a good and a gracious person. So desire that your thoughts has to be changed. And the next thing is prayer, the power of prayer. Come on. You need to pray. Of course, you need to pray. Prayer can change patterns. Oh, yes. Prayers can change patterns. You have to make the choice that you want to commit to the place of prayer and change patterns. It will be patterns that are actually lingering even on your bloodline, flowing from your parentage, flowing from your environment, flowing from the significant adults that have appeared in your life. It could be anywhere and anyhow. But when you decide to sit with the system of prayer consistently, consistently showing up there, you can rewrite those patterns. So decide that you want to change. And again, I'm not saying you should cancel people, and you can give people a second chance, but if you do want to give people a second chance whilst you're going into a relationship, you need to see a counselor so you don't make the wrong choices. Pay attention to patterns. Patterns are the painters of people's personality. Remember, you're not getting married to just a person, you're getting married to a pattern. God bless you and do good. I am Esther Chinedu Dechiko. I love you.